Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Business Matters. My name is Engineer Felix Nnamdi Onachukwu. I'm a business consultant, a business coach, and an entrepreneur. Today, I'll be discussing a very important topic that will help you as a new entrepreneur about to start up your own business. So the topic I'll be discussing today is strategic business planning for startup in a developing economy. Let me repeat it. Strategic business planning in a developing economy. Some of us who are in the third world countries or economies understand that there is so much instability. Both the macro and microeconomic conditions are so unstable that you as an entrepreneur must recognize this. If you don't recognize it, you're going to make a big mistake. So what this business planning will help you do is to factor out those areas that look so dangerous for you as a business person and find a way to work around it. In economies in Africa, one policy change can change everything. Now, I don't mean business plan. No, business plan as in where you hire an accountant and he does cash flow analysis for you. Those things, of course, you know, it originated from the West. It originated from US, where they have a stable economy. And once they do those cash flow analysis, you could stick to it for another 5-10 years. Not in a developing economy. I am talking out of experience. But all you need is business planning. Let me take this analogy. A man wants to build a house or you want to undertake a building project. He starts by planning on paper. The architect starts by drawing the brief. After drawing the brief from foundation to the finished level, then he gives it to the quantity surveyor who gives you the bill of quantity. Now you shake it across board and find, oh, I can start this. Then you start from the foundation. You lay the foundation and they will build according to plan. Every entrepreneur must have a roadmap to that business. As long as you are convinced about the concept, the business you want to start, I would rather suggest you do elementary feasibility study. I'll be coming subsequently to talk about feasibility study, but this elementary feasibility study comes with just research. You need to research on specific information that you need for evaluation. Evaluating the target market, the opportunities, how you can get entry. These are very, very important. There are two kinds of research. Number one, I call it desk research. Number two, field research. Let me tell you a bit of what I mean by desk research. Desk research is that research you do from home. Just on your desk, you open your computers, you read from the internet, you do some search, you can even make some interrogation phone calls, ask some people some questions. And from there, you articulate what you want to do and make sure you plan on paper. One of the bane of new entrepreneurs is planning on their head. Your head is not a computer. After a while, you lose some files. But when you plan on paper, you go back to that your plan anytime, any day. Then when you have started planning on paper, by looking at this business you want to engage, you want to undertake, and you look at what are those things I need to know, then you do what is called the field research. Field research is going into the marketplace, engaging people, asking questions, one-on-one, even trying to be there and monitor how things move. Some of you that are in employment, you might do it when you have your leave. Some of you who are not doing anything, you can just go there, stay with a friend, and beg them to give you opportunity to stay around and see how the business is moving. During your research, there are those questions you need to ask. What are those key questions? I start. Number one, what is the value of the market you propose to join? The value of the market. Of course, when you look at various markets, various industries, when you have discovered where you have passion, look at value of the market. Number two, is this market shrinking or growing? Let me use an example. Some of them that are in the mobile phone business, telecommunication, you know that it's growing because you have a lot of digital excluded people, so many of them in Nigeria. Out of maybe 200 million Nigerians, you have only about 30% of them who are digitally included. So it's a growing market. I just decided to give that illustration for the purpose of this analysis. So you need to ask yourself, is this market growing or shrinking? Number three, who are my main competition? Who am I going to compete with if I come in as a new entrant? Number four, you ask yourself a question. Those competitors, are they making money? If they are making money, we know. Because when they are making money, they are expanding. They are employing more people. They are buying new vehicles. You see them running more ads. You know that, oh, they are doing well. I'll give you an illustration of what happened to me when we wanted to site a gas station somewhere on a major road, somewhere in the eastern Nigeria. I got there, I discovered that a number of gas stations on that major road were all down, not functional. And the owner of this gas station was telling me that if I take this gas station, that I will make a lot of money, that he decided to retire from business. That's why he wanted to give it out. But when I came out, I asked myself a question. If it was very lucrative, how come that all of them are shutting down? And that was how I decided to pull out of the deal. And after some years, I passed that, I saw that most of them were still what? Down, was still down. Then I asked the basic question, what happened? They told me, these are the things you need to ask yourself. The competitors, are they making money? Another question you ask yourself, as a new entrant, am I going to be profitable? This thing I'm going into, am I going to be profitable? Can I find customers? That's another thing. Where can I find customers? You need to define who are your target customers. It's very important. If you're coming into a new business, you need to carve a niche for yourself. And think of the customers you want to service. Are they the high end, mid end, or the low end? You must define all this before you go into those businesses. Another question you ask yourself, how am I going to promote my brand profitably? Mind you, you are coming into the business to make money. Oftentimes, people come into the business and they want to bully the market and they want to start by pricing. So, always unfortunate. They usually price themselves out of the market. But you must look for a niche. That thing that will define you, that thing that will distinguish you. When you ask all these questions, mark my word, plan on paper. Now, you draw that roadmap. But when you are drawing your roadmap, make sure you are flexible. You know, this is what the business school will not teach you. Because some of the business schools I attended in my life, some of them are in US, in UK, they didn't teach me all this. But because I am functioning in the third world economy, I know how you function. It's so boisterous. You need to be flexible in your planning. That your roadmap will guide you on do's and don'ts of business. Never go for easier option. It always ends in regrets. There are people that will come and tell you, you could do it this way, it's easier this way. Don't mind them. You need to grow your business. Rome was not built in a day. You need to grow it. Now, the best strategic planning evolves. with the business environment. So be ready. When you are starting also, in as much as you know that a new startup, make sure you are not going for a kill to be too profitable. Because over time, people will discover that you overprice and they will not come back to you. What is important in marketing is retaining customers. It's easier when you retain a customer, it costs you cheaper for marketing activities. So make sure you retain that customer by giving them prices that are very, very competitive. As startup, so many things will be happening at the same time. Don't panic. Just stay there and tell yourself, I am going to see the end of this. So what do? You now begin to work on your brand visibility. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy job. It is a hard job. What happened at this stage is you begin to talk to people about your business. In fact, when you are starting a business, family and friends will know the name, the brand, because it's something that you say anywhere you are. Even if you're waking up, your dining table, you are discussing with your wife. Because it's a passion, something that has eaten you up. Your wake-up thought, what you go to bed with, that's when you know that this thing, I'm going to do well in it. So you start by branding. Branding starts by you talking about it. Meeting your friends, telling them what you do. You move to the other stage of planning. When I say strategy, or strategy, of course, you know, is a word used in military parlance. You know, business is like war. You're coming into a battlefield and you must win. The best strategic planning usually evolves with business environment. Be ready. Don't go for too much profit. The profit will come when the customer base grows. So you need to have this at the back of your mind. Now, branding, visibility takes a lot of hard work. I will not tell you that it's easy. But when you get there, you will enjoy it eternally. At business startup, a number of things happen. You need to stay strong. It's like an aeroplane. At takeoff, there is so much shaking as it tries to gain height. There's so much noise, so much instability. The old flyers will just relax, fasten their belts, waiting for such a time when it will stabilize. The new flyers will be panicking, looking around. You don't need to panic. When the aeroplane gains height, it stabilizes and everybody will relax their belt and enjoy the in-flight meal. When you get to such a height where there is consolidation and support, then you can now relax. So you don't need to panic. Be strong. Make sure you stick to your roadmap. Like I said, you need to be flexible in your roadmap. Now, there are other things you need to know when you are planning. Gone are the days when people just set up, bring out a service or bring out a product, believing that customers will come for it. The era is fast going. This era is called the outside in. You plan strategically outside in. You plan from your customers, you plan from the consumers. You make sure you drag the consumers along in your planning. Make sure you are producing what they need, not what you think they need. Make sure you're selling what that environment needs or that demography needs, not what you think they need. It's very important you have this at the back of your mind. Why companies like Amazon is doing very well today is because they do what is called outside in. They are customer centric. So they carry their customers along in everything, that every service they design. So you, as a beginner, must make sure that the customers you're targeting, that you carry them along and you grow with them organically. The best growth is when you grow organically. Now, you have to design your business in such a way, and design your mind, let me start from there, in such a way that you adapt any economic condition, because the economic ecosystem, especially in the third world economy, always witness shock. So you design your mind in a way that you move with the tide. Don't let them leave you behind. That's how you make a good entrepreneur. I believe that in the subsequent teachings, I'll be telling you more. Let me not forget this. At that startup, you'll be playing in all the departments in that business. The R&D, the sales and marketing, everything about that business. Make sure you are part of it. Nobody wants it more than you. So for it to succeed, you need to give it all in it for it to succeed. Like I said, be ready for any policy change. I'll be teaching you more on that when we talk about tools to measure your business growth and development. When we get to that level, you will know more. But right now, like I said, start with the feasibility, elementary feasibility study, do the research work, ask a lot of questions before you now cruise. And remember the word, don't panic. You get to a height of stability. Thank you for watching. See you next. Make sure you watch the next videos that will be coming after now. Thank you very much.